now user had given Japan here. What if the user gives the country which doesn't exist in our list? So, for example, Atlantis will not is it is not there in our list. For instance, we'll take the Atlantis. So at that time, what this would do means, as you expected, there is no Atlantis in our country column, so we get any error in our cell. So this is where typically would go into your formula. You click right after the equal signs. So let me, so what if here I give it as Atlantis? So you can see already we have got a any error. So what we can do, some changes in our formula so that we will not get error. So how to handle this error, we'll see. We have to do some changes in the formula. How, we will see now. So this is where typically would go into your formula, this one, and you click right after the equal sign here, and you would start wrapping it in something like an error statement with lookup, x lookup. You don't need to do that. So before we were what we were to handle the exception or the errors in the VLOOKUP or any other lookup reference, we were adding if error, but here that is not required. So all we need to do is jump back into our formula. So I'm going to like near comma. So here we have at the end we will put another comma here, and to the if not found argument, the first optional argument here. And because we are working with text, I'm just going to add a dash here in cases where the country is not found. So see, you can see here the syntax of the formula itself. You can see. बिस्किट डालूंगी खाता नीचे है देखो तुम्हें कुकर रखती हूँ सर. So this is the lookup value and this is the lookup array. Then this is the return array. So what to do if not found? The lookup value, what to do if not found? At that place, we will specify a dash. So if any parameter is not there in our list, then it should give us dash. So if I give, see here, we have got the dash here. So in the same way, we can do. So here also we can write dash.
So this chart would look more better way, we can say.
Yes, it look, yes. So what the see, always our goal must be our Excel sheet or the Excel tab should be, or the dashboard should be error free. If at all we get an error also, we have to give the reason, or we have to justify that error reason. Okay.
Okay.
So if I give, now I'm giving Atlantis, like I'll give DCF, which doesn't exist. So you can see, for whatever I give, this will give the dash. Like apart from the name given in this list, if I give another name, then it will give me dash, as I have mentioned in my formula. So it's as simple as that. Really couldn't we have to just add another parameter. What if instead of typing the wrong value, your user is looking for data about a certain country but is not sure how to spell that country name? In this case, I do have a data validation list applied. Like we can, I didn't apply the data validation. Excuse. So source here we give. Okay. So here I have given the data validation. Like what if I have not given the data validation, and the person and the user doesn't know the exact spelling of that country. Like he knows that Germany is there in the list, but he doesn't know the. So let me remove this data validation. Okay. So he doesn't know the like what if I give like Germany. I had missed A, but that my intention was to find the this Germany. It is there in the list also, but I don't know the spelling of that country name. So if I
Yes.
give at that time also, I'll get the dash. But this is not the output what I expect. I expect some result here. So at that time, if the user is not sure about the spelling or the or anything, so at that time we will go with the approximate match. So see, here we have match mode. If I give a zero, exact match. If I give the minus one, it is exact match, or next smaller item. So one exact match or next a larger item, then wild card character match. So we'll see what to do in such type of cases. So let me, so what I want to do, I want to know the World Bank data of the Kazakhstan. Sometimes the some names will be there which is very difficult to spell, which is very like we will be not remembering the
Able
exact
to write the spelling.
yes. So at that time, so what I'll do, I will write. Am I getting this? I will just give Kazakh. Okay. So it's not going to work, but what I can do here is use the second optional argument in the XLOOKUP function and actually change our match mode to wildcard character match, which is perfect for matching text. So all I need to do is enter the so I'll go with the match mode of wildcard, which is perfect for matching text. So all I need to do is enter there 2, you can see the what code for the wildcard character match is 2. So I'll just enter 2. We'll press enter. And watch what happens. Instead of trying to type the full country name Kazakhstan, I could say, you know what, I know it starts KZ, and then you know what, I'm not sure, I know there are additional characters, so I'm going to use the asterisk wildcard. So if I give here asterisk wildcard Kazakh, so you can see it has auto populated the country name. So this is
Okay.
a wildcard here. So asterisk, if you give the starting two letter and if you just give the asterisk, then it will match those letters and it will populate next characters automatically.
Okay.
So I'm going to use the asterisk, and it tells the asterisk tells Excel, look for a match that starts with KZ but is followed by any number of other characters. And when I press enter here, we saw it is properly matched to Kazakhstan, and that's the beauty of wildcard text matching. And keep in mind, you can use a question mark symbol as well if you're for a single wildcard character. But that asterisk means any number of wildcard characters following the string that you have entered. So there you go. So let's go ahead and jump back to a country like Japan. So if you want to see, okay, you know the full name, Kazakh, but you don't know whether N comes, M comes, it is whether Kazakhstan, Tan, you don't know. So if you want to match only single character, at that time you can give the uh, question mark. So if you give that question mark, at that time also it will fill. It will match for first letters, and it will match only for the single letter. But if you give asterisk, it will match for the as the number of as characters are there in the list name. Okay. So let's go ahead and jump back to a country like Japan. So we will see everything. So if I give Japan here, so you can see everything is populated. We will see everything populate again. We could go through and edit each of these formulas to add in the if not found and a wildcard matching logic. But for now, we will be matching to exact countries, so we don't need to worry about that too much. Next up, let's look at approximate matching when it comes to values. And to do that, we are going to populate this GDP category column in our raw table. There is another tab here called GDP category. So we have another tab here. And this tab contains a small table with different GDP threshold levels that indicate what category of what category a country should fall in. So if there is no GDP noted at all, you will just see a dash. If a country is between 0 and just under 1,000, they will be categorized as very low. There are between 1,000 10,000, so it's low all the way up to countries that generated over 10 million. So this is if the GDP of the country is 0, very low, 1,000 low. So this is the what we have given the rank or the grade based upon the GDP. So technically, like 10,000 million, which is $10 trillion in gross domestic, be categorized as very high. So let's jump back to our XLOOKUP tab. We are going to populate this category column. Here we have the category column. Yes, GDP category column using XLOOKUP functions. So this time, instead of looking up to the country name, we are going to look up the GDP amount right here in the next column to us. So we have the GDP amount here, and in the GDP category we have given the grades. So if the GDP amount is 0, it should give very low. If it is 10 million or dollar, it should high, and if it's trillion dollar, it should be very high. So I will write a XLOOKUP here. So we are taking the lookup value of this I3 cell. So you can see it has was selected that one. I'm going to come over to the lookup array. Here I'll come to this GDP category. Trying to find the value right here in the first column of a GDP category table and the return array. So let's select these cells. Then this one. So our lookup array is this and return array. It should look up into this column and it should return these values. It should look up for this and it should return these values. So at that time we'll go like this. Okay. So if I stop my formula here and I close the parenthesis and just hit enter, you will get only NA, only errors, because there is no exact match here. So this is kind of a range. It should fall into this range. We cannot give the exact value. So at these in these type of situations, you should go with the approximate match. Let us see how to do. And the reason we see here is that in no cases does this precise GDP number match one of the thresholds given in this table. So we are getting the error. So at that cases, in and what tells us is that exact match is not going to be the trick here. And remember, we default to exact match when we use XLOOKUP. So let's go ahead, edit our formula, and we can add in front of, and if not found value, but if we don't want to, we can just press a second comma. So we are, as of now, we are not interested in the if not found argument. We will go with the match mode. So at that time, if you want to skip a particular optional argument, at that time you have to give another second comma, and you have to go to the next argument. So, and here we are going to add a -1, which is the exact match or next smaller item. Means if we have 999 as the GDP, if we have yes, if we have 1001 as a GDP, it should fall like it should exact match or next smaller item. So it will fall under 1000 instead of going to lower middle. So I'll give -1 here as of now. When I close the top and press enter now, you can see here we have got some GDP category formulas. I mean this thing. And you can see still we have the why it is giving me this. B92. Okay, see here you can see why we are getting NA means the range has changed to B9 to B60. So we have to fix this one. We have to fix this reference. So what we will do, we will fix the reference here. See here B2 to B9, but here it has changed it to B9 to B6. So we will fix the reference. F4 here also we will give F4. So now if I now you can see it has populated everything properly. So if what is this 9,014,000 will upper middle, so it will fall under 10,000, that is $10 million. So it has given us upper middle,
Upper
so
mid.
this has not properly. So, and let's look at one example just to make sure to understand. So 914, as we saw, it falls under upper limit. Okay. So it will going to match the next to lower value and return the category from the next to column. So that was this thing, and that's exactly what's happening here, which is exactly what we wanted. So there we go. Now that we have got our GDP categories, we can populate these GDP values here in our dashboard. So here we have our dashboard. So here we can populate those GDP values here. So what we will do is, again using XLOOKUP functions, we are going to look up our country name as to, and it should start to become very easy now, looking at up in the country. So it will match this name, whatever the user has selected, and it will look up into this column and should retrieve the array. It should retrieve the value from this array, that we have to do. So it is quite a simple, it's the same formula what we wrote here. So let us write the formula. So here we'll write what I will do. Let me copy the same formula here. Okay. Copy the same formula, only I need to change the column. So which column it should look up? It should look up J column, J3 to J207. So the formula contains it. Okay. What happened? Insert a single quotation mark before your text. Okay. Okay. I have given two equals, and I need a. Oh, sorry. Why am I giving J? I should give I. I need the GDP in in the millions, in the rupee. I don't want the category, so I'll go with the I column, not the J column. So you can see the Japan has this GDP, and the GDP index will populate this going on. So you could write two more of these functions from scratch, or we could use one of them, like we have just to copy pasted the one. Okay.
Okay.
So for GDP index, So here also we will write the same thing. So this time we want the GDP index, which is our first column in the table. What I will do, the first column, that is B. B. One second. So this should be D3 to D2. I3 to I207. But here we should give B. Since we need index, it lives in the B column. So we have to give B. Oh my god, it is taking the dollar symbol also. Why is that? I shouldn't take.
We can check the formula once again so we can figure it out now.
Mm-hmm. Why dollar here? Go to formula, evaluate it. Okay. Mm-hmm. Let me copy this. Maybe here parameter. Let me see what will populate here. Okay. So GDP category lives in J. So let me see what it operates. It is populating properly here. Wait, dollar here.
Let it be, ma'am. We can skip to this thing. It will take, otherwise it will take more time.
Okay. So last thing we want to populate is this column. So this table of familiar countries by GDP, and what I have done is pre-populate this index column here using XLOOKUP functions. And what we want to do is bring in the country name and the GDP right here. So we are going to use dynamic arrays here again, but this time we are going to uh, so we have populated the index, and now we will bring the country name and the GDP in these columns. So we are going to use, as I said, dynamic arrays here again, but this time we are going to spill down to new rows. So we'll spill down to new rows here uh, instead of over to new columns. So check this out. To populate the country, so we are going to write an XLOOKUP formula. So this time we are going to look up the index value here, and we are going to find that index within the first column of a table. So we will write the index here. Then we will. This is the lookup value, and then this is the comma. Then and then we are going to return the country name, and that is um, D. D32, D2, B207. So you can see it has auto populated those things. So got me the answer that I needed. Index 1 is the United States, but we can do this a little bit. So you can see here it has highlighted the country, the row based upon the country name here. So this is the XLOOKUP thing. So now same story here with the GDP also. We'll take the XLOOKUP function. So GDP lives in I column. Here we want our I column. Uh, M11. Okay, that's looking great, but we can get it. So what next is? So here we will put a data validation here we have put. So what if unemployment, so at that time you can see there have been same these things, same values, but unemployment must hold these things, these values. So if they wanted to look at population life expectancy instead of GDP, I would like to allow them to do that like dynamically. Well, all we need to do is update our XLOOKUP. So we'll update our XLOOKUP. What we do is we will nest another XLOOKUP function inside of it. So what we will do, so instead of fixing it to the GDP column, here we have fixed it to GDP column. What we will do, we'll write another X lookup here. So and let's say that the return array is actually itself an X lookup function. We are going to look. So X lookup. So we are going to look up the GDP value in 10 and press F4 to lock it in. So N, in 10 we will lock this. I'll tell you how we will do this. And we are going to look at the GDP header. So well, we're going to try to find it off our list of table headers. So I'll give the table headers here. Sorry, not that. This is the of our list of headers, and you can see it's kind of automatically given me that header. So and my return array is going to be any value from the entire table. So this is the lookup value, this is the lookup array, and the return array would be anything from this to here. So I will close the parenthesis here. What happened? Sure. So if I give enter now, one second, let me check once again. So X lookup. Okay, here also I have to give the entire this thing. Wait. So here also it should be L11 to L11 to L21. You can see it has to span full this index, right? So it should be L21. L21 and then index, then next lookup. So lookup value is this one N10 and the lookup array is headers and then full table. I'm getting this. Mm-hmm. Lookup and in the lookup value, yeah, not this one. L11 to throughout L21. Okay. Then we are looking that value in the index. So it will be B3 to B20. Then return array. Here we are going to write another XLOOKUP. So in that, what we are doing is we're taking this. We are fixing with the help of F4. Then I will go with the header. Okay. Then it should return me the array and then it should give me this one. Okay, we have to fix this. We did not fix this, so it is giving me problem. F4, here also F. 4. So now if I press, see, like this, it will be very problematic if we don't do properly. So I think now it has given properly. United Kingdom, what is the GDP? United Kingdom 28 30. Okay, it's giving properly. Yeah. Then we will see for population. Yeah, see population also it is giving properly. So Japan is 1268 835. Yeah. So this is how you can make it as dynamic. Okay, as you, if you go with the index, it will give values as per the index code. It will give as per that. Okay.
It has
So
populated the data exactly.
yes. So see what we have to do is we have to be careful. Like we have to be careful where we have to fix and where we have not to fix. Okay. So what last time this thing was, I have not fixed the headers, so it was giving me problem. So make sure that you will fix the right columns, and you can just do trial and error method. You can try 1 to 3 times. You can see where it is going. Like I should have gone to evaluate for formula also. At that time also I would have understood where I had been wrong, so I would have taken money. Okay, so this is how is. So next is selecting list items. It is only 5 minutes. So let's see if we can. Will at least you will do. So all dynamically working just by nesting the XLOOKUP, our original function. So all good stuff here. Final step we'll take right now is just to plot this on a map. So I'm going to select all my values here. So I will select all these values. I'm going to insert field map. So here maybe where will I get the map here? So if I go to insert and the win loss equal tools. No problem if I don't find anything, we can go here and check maps. In this thing I don't have. Line chart, pie chart, radar chart, stock chart. Okay, win or loss. I think I have to update this. In this, I don't have, I guess. Okay, no problem. I'll install another version of the this thing, Yogita, and I'll tell you
Hmm.
also. Okay,
Yeah,
so
because I just now Google,
hmm,
it is telling me that go to the insert tab, then
hmm,
charts, and then maps, and then filled map. So just select the chart tab.
this
It
one.
is on your left. Yeah, select.
Okay, then
Then it is saying maps. Go to maps. We can't find maps here, right?
can't find.
Go to the more tab. Yeah, I'm not still able to find it. You need to update it, maybe.
Yes, yes.